let's begin.
Thank you, Sparkly Walrus 19 and Figueroas for your resubscriptions. And yes, I am shaved. It's the first time I've ever shown my chin to the general public.
Oh man, bold.
Right?
Do we have 3 stages of beard right now? Cobalt, what's your beard at right now?
I'm scruffle scraggly right now. Like it's been about 2 months since I shaved, I think.
Good lord. Okay. So yes, we are at 3 stages of beard. Nick is fresh. I'm like lazy man's beard at like a week and a half, and Cobalt is regrowing it. Have you committed at this point?
No. I have my little puff on my chin, but all this other stuff's got to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I hate shaving, man.
Me too. Can we? I just want to get it lasered off or something.
Whenever I do it, I'm always like, this is really not bad at all. It takes like 10 minutes, I feel better, and I'm good for at least a few days, and I can stretch it out further if necessary. But when I have to force myself to do it, I'm like, I could be doing anything else right now.
And when you have to stretch it, it gets super itchy after a couple of days. Like, that's the worst.
That's the other part. I'm in Itch Town right now as well.
That's the worst. That's when usually I break down and shave it, or then you can just muscle man it out like I did. Wait a couple more days and then the itch goes away, but then you have this on your face. So
I actually had to fully shave. Like, I had this electric razor, and then it was on the outs for a while, but then it died halfway through shaving, so I was like, okay, I gotta use like my safety razor now. And I actually looked like a 12-year-old, like,
that's where I am right now.
Person who is bald, you know, for all the wrong reasons, basically. And chat was like, what the fuck? You never think that like a millimeter of stubble would make that much difference, but it really does.
Characteristic for you, yeah.
It is. It's the difference between, at least for some people, looking like an adult and looking like you're in a Halloween costume for an adult.
I never go full baby butt face anymore. I look 15.
Well, I just really prefer using the trimmer, the electric trimmer, because it just feels so much better, and you don't get such a close shave that it itches as much, which is perfect. But this time I went all the way down.
Thank you,
and then
Tim Whip for 5 months and Swimmer for 7 months. You guys are amazing.
It scared.
What's up, Rip Rat?
Like,
I don't blame him.
When I did it, I was like, he's like, oh my god, you like shaved so close, and I was like, yeah, I didn't have a choice. And then I was like, do you want to touch it? Because like people, to touch or like a hairless scalp is a very strange feeling, because it's kind of like warm and it's smoother than it has any right to be. It's very strange. She was like, no,
it's
like
warm.
No,
it's warm, man.
Absolutely not touching that.
It scared her a little bit. I'm used to people being like, whoa, can I touch it? And then they touch it and they go, oh! But
that's a strong reaction for a scalp, like we all have.
Have you ever touched a freshly shorn scalp?
Maybe not.
It's a weird feeling. It's so smooth. It's like a warm rock. It's very weird.
Warm rock, bathing in the sun on the beach.
It's a hot rock, man.
Oh, this game, I'm so rusty. I've hardly been playing Schmeisig at all the past month and a half.
Yeah, nobody has.
I feel ya on
It's
that.
that hard.
I wish I could bring back lots of goodies from California, but they didn't tell us shit about Afterbirth Plus. They were like, come to PAX Prime. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go to that right now.
Pardon me?
I don't know. I've been traveling so much.
It's far away.
Sick of it.
I get it.
I love Seattle though. It's the greatest.
Oh, it's the bomb.
Man, I'm gonna have to go, but I don't know. I'm gonna cut something out next year.
It was a really tough sale, but I'm glad that we twisted your arm on that one.
It's yeah. I could have gone to E3, and I'm just like, I definitely don't want to go to that. So
well, not we, but Mathis and I are going to E3 this year. And Mathis is, like, you want to talk about getting sick of travel. Not that you haven't been traveling a ton. That guy's going to all this. He's going to, like, you know, Raisin Convention in California, and, like, you know, the cousin he met twice in his life is getting married in Florida, so he's got to go down for that. He's going to ride his bike to it, so it's going to take him 3 years. But he made time for E3, and I'm excited to see him there. But I am also pretty much sick of traveling for, like, the next little while, for sure.
Yeah, Tyrone booked Dick's ticket coming in at 3 p.m. The event was at 6. So he shows up with like Bacon Donut and Dan Giesling, and they all have their luggage at the venue, and they store it in the back. Then we go to the hotel and like drop the stuff off at the inn, like after we go to another bar.
Yes.
And then they're all flying out at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
so they don't even sleep
nasty.
at the hotel. It was rough. I got some suggestions for the next Nicholas event. That was their first one ever.
The first press event ever.
Yeah.
It
wasn't bad, though. They had some interesting games that they're going to be coming out with, and the PS4 version of Afterbirth that everybody has been yelling for.
And people tweeting me, they're like, I've never had more people tweet me their scores on a daily than like 2 days ago when it came out for Xbox One and PS4. I'm not sure if it's out on PS4, but yeah, people were like, check this out, and like everybody that tweeted me was like in the top 30 on the daily. They're like, nobody knows that it's out yet. Check it.
Quick, screenshot this while you can, while we're on top.
Rank 1.
It just doesn't make sense to me to get it. Like, why would... Get it on PC, guys. Get it on PC. That's where the mods are.
What if their PC can't run it?
Well, get an Alienware Alpha.
Okay, just spend $2,000, no problem at all.
They're $500.
Oh, are they?
They're like little console.
Oh, the mini tower things. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
They remind me of like the Steam thing.
I just heard Alienware. I assumed you meant something expensive.
That's like their least expensive thing.
I'm getting into high octane new console based gaming because I just downloaded Hearthstone for my phone. So
Me
it's
too!
like the future.
Just did that.
The future is now, man.
Gigabyte updates.
I played for 5 hours last night to go up 2 ranks. My life.
Damn. And what's your rank right now?
Like 14.
Don't be ashamed, man. I'm only
getting rough.
I'm only 19 right now.
It gets rough at around 16. That's where I'm just like win game, lose game, win game, lose game, just stuck there perpetually. Everybody uses the same type of decks, like for the same 3 ranks, you know?
Yeah.
The Zoolock.
I can't really complain because I'm like, I need to get more cards from the classic set so that I can actually net deck this bullshit. Last night I did an arena. I went 1 and 3. In my reward pack, I got a legendary, which is already like incredibly good luck for poor play. Then it was a legendary I already had.
Oh, the worst.
What a bummer. Isn't that right, Nick?
No, I have no clue what you're talking about, but I'll be here when you're done.
Do you hate all card games? Like, what is...
No, I like them, and then just Ryan went so hard on Magic, and I just kind of like lost the appeal for some reason.
I'm dabbing right now, Soulfish.
It just became so talked about that I just like wasn't interested in it anymore.
I understand that. I can think of a couple games that went through that same process for me.
I can think of
don't mention it because he has to play it if we don't talk about it for 3 months.
No, not mentioning it.
He remembers.
I was going to say
it
it
rhymes with Underrail.
Or Total Fail.
Total Fail.
You should play Underrail.
Hay Bales. It's my favorite, personally.
Chicken Whales.
Chicken Whales. That's like if you live in Iceland, they sell you that instead of chicken and waffles because they can't grow wheat, but they've got tons of blubber just laying around.
I was thinking of like a chicken whaling, as in moaning, but that works too. A giant chicken whale's great too.
I'm feeling you.
Chicken blubber. Tasty.
Speaking of chicken blubber, I got a lot of things to say, speaking of which, on this show, by the way. But speaking of chicken blubber, getting all these tweets today, people are saying, hey, now you got no excuse. McDonald's is offering a bucket of 48 chicken McNuggets for sale in one
number wasn't
product.
The problem, really.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. If anything, of 48 has no impact or a negative impact, because how am I going to get to 50 McNuggets from 48?
Right. Can't they throw you the extra 2? It's a really weird number.
I would like to think that they'd be like, look, for 15 cents, we're going to throw in 2 more chicken McNuggets. But you could already easily make 50 from the SKUs of McNuggets that they sold.
Yeah, sometimes you get like a weird double McNugget too, you know, in there. It's like 2 of them fried together.
Don't talk about the anomaly.
You guys ever find like
anomaly?
Yeah, at McDonald's they've got it standardized, but sometimes you go to like a mom and pop restaurant, you get like a 5-piece or a 3-piece chicken strips, and then you get like a half strip and then sometimes they give you one extra, so you get like 3.5, but sometimes they don't, and you're like, come on. There should be like a standardized ruler in food service that you hold a chicken strip up to, and if it doesn't fill it out, if it doesn't get to the green line, then that doesn't count as a strip.
I feel pretty sure they would like hook you up though if you got ripped off on a chicken strip. They would probably give you like another one.
I mean, I hope, but that's the thing is like, I can't be that guy.
Some places have really tiny chicken strips though, and some are like behemoths, you know?
Mozzarella sticks have an incredible degree of variance from one place to another.
Sometimes you bite into a mozzarella stick, there's no freaking mozzarella inside of it.
That's the worst.
That's the worst.
They just fried some breadcrumbs and gave them to you.
I don't want breadcrumbs.
It's disgusting.
I mean, I want them, but I want them with cheese inside. That's really.
I had that a long time ago. Michael L. Fox was there. We got the cheapest Chinese food I've ever seen in my entire life. It was literally like almost buffet style, only you weren't in control of the buffet.
What's up,
it was
Sater?
$4 for 4
Love you
items.
guys. Thanks for coming out today.
They're like, what do you want? We got this. You pick 4 of them. So I got some chicken balls as one of my options. Everything else was absolutely horrible. So I'm like, how can you fuck up chicken balls? I bit in, it's just fried dough. It's not even, there's no chicken inside of it in the least.
I have to ask you what a chicken ball is. I assume it's like a chicken nugget, but just a ball.
Ball. Can you roll chicken into balls? You have to shred it first.
Real. Dude, this is so interesting to me. This must be like a Canadianized Chinese food.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that.
So a chicken ball is basically just a piece of chicken thigh or breast that is battered
Good to see you, man.
Look almost like a donut hole and then fried. And it's crispy, a little bready, and usually served with like a plum sauce or a sweet and sour sauce on top.
Oh yeah, we call it sweet and sour chicken here, and they're just more oblong.
Yeah, that's what we call it as well. It's like a Chinese food kind of thing.
It's weird because we have sweet and sour chicken as well, but I'm not exaggerating when I say that chicken balls are probably the most popular Chinese food item
first 8
in Canada.
months in a row.
How does it differ?
Dude.
It's still oblong for you?
Yeah, like in the sweet and sour chicken is like deep fried chicken pieces. The chicken ball is like its own form. It's like its own medium.
Yeah, I just want to understand. There's a lot of forms the chicken takes around the world, and I want to understand a couple more.
Apparently, it's actually like a British thing as well. So that's probably where we got it from. That if you go to a Chinese food restaurant, the 4 chicken balls in a sweet and sour sauce with fried rice is like your combo A here. That's gonna be your number one. Like, okay, stop reading. I don't like food that isn't familiar to me. I'm done right here. I'm taking that.
So your General Tso's.
I just don't. Gotta wrap my head around this.
A General Tso's or a General Tao's would be like your number 4.
All right.
There'd be like a chicken chow mein or something in the middle, and then there'd be like beef broccoli, and then you'd have your General Tao's.
Standard, non-confrontational style.
Oh yeah, my camera's blue. Hold on, guys. I'll fix it.
So essentially, I mean, the story now has lost all relevance.
Yeah, what were you talking about?
I thought it was relatable, but the chicken ball had no chicken inside of it. It is like the mozzarella. It's the mozzarella stick without any cheese in it. Just in a way, even more disappointing.
That makes me very confused because what is the bread supposed to stick to if not the chicken itself?
I guess itself, or maybe the piece of chicken was so small it somehow got vaporized in the cooking procedure.
God. Yeah, that's possible, or shriveled
Liquid
or something.
Chicken. Yeah, or like it was so thin that it just kind of like was granular and became part of the batter.
Yeah, and you just don't think it's there, but it's there just like infused in it.
Maybe the person frying it just held it up and blew it away into the wind. Just for a little bit of poetry.
This reminds me of Gordon Ramsay, where he yells at the guy for dropping the chicken on the floor and then he throws it back in the fryer, and Ramsay's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "It sterilizes it." It's like, yeah, and the hair in there too.
I remember that.
It does sterilize it.
Right, but you just don't cross the line of dropping shit on the floor. It's a slippery slope you don't want to start down.
Sterilized dirt? Like...
Well, that's exactly it. People are always like, don't eat that, you could get sick. No, you're not going to get sick. It's just gross. Like, I don't want to eat, like, cat litter or, rat shit or... I mean, it probably wouldn't be rat. Maybe it would be rat shit on kitchen.
Maybe. You never know.
That's what there's rats everywhere. I had no idea.
I hate that.
What's up, Pitcher?
I absolutely hate that.
In Vancouver, they're actually, and this is probably true for most major cities, I guess, but the Board of Health has a website where they publicly document like health infractions, like Department of Health investigations that went wrong. Like once every 6 months or so, I just go on the website. And I'm like, yeah, I ate there. I ate there. I ate there. Usually the places are pretty good, but some of the shit you see, you're like, oh, that's pretty bad. Like, you know, pest outbreak. That's pretty disgusting. Sometimes it's like they don't have hot water, so they can't do dishes in a sanitary fashion. Like, that's really bad.
Have you ever gotten, like, a drink from a bar, like at an airport or something? Just like some juice, but it just tastes like straight alcohol, even though it's supposed to be a clean glass?
What, did they not wash the last glass and just put more juice in it?
They must have not washed it correctly, because it was tasted like vodka and pineapple juice.
That is disgusting.
It was pretty bad.
Well, it's disgusting if it's not what you want.
Yeah. I don't drink at all, so I don't know.
Well, how do you know what a vodka and orange juice tastes like then? Maybe it was just Tropicana.
I've tried it before, and I found that I don't want to do it anymore, because it's gross.
Alright. Somebody in chat said
yesterday at a diner, it had some lipstick on the side of the mug.
That is actually, like, super gross.
Yeah. I don't know why she didn't notice it either, because it was huge. But, you know, they were very nice about it. They replaced my cup, although they splashed coffee out of the cup when they dumped it from the one cup into the other one.
Yeah, it right into your face. We don't serve snobs here.
I felt bad calling her out, because for a second I was like, well, maybe I'll just drink from the other side, and then, no, it just wasn't a good thing to do.
Look, that's a complainable offense for sure.
Yeah.
You can be the guy who says, hey, my cup has lipstick on it, and I'm not wearing it. Or, like, you know, that seems fair to me.
It's not my color.
Exactly. You think I would, with skin like this, I would wear that? Ridiculous. But I definitely, you can't be the guy who says, excuse me, I ordered a 5-piece, but one of these chicken strips is slightly too small.
I just hate making waves. I feel like it's going to start this precipitation of events that I become out of control of. Like, I complain about this little minor thing, and then eventually there's, like, a vendetta against me for other things.
Yeah, I don't want them to spit in my food or, like, be rude to me.
Every interaction I've ever had with customer service has been pretty positive, but I have exactly the same irrational fear, which is they're gonna be like, oh yeah, like you never made a mistake in your life. I'm not giving you another fucking chicken strip, and then I'll be like, oh come on, guys. You know, I'm sorry I brought it up. Can we just be okay? They're like, no, get out of this restaurant. My dad's the police chief. He's gonna like. Come on now.
I've had
My uncle works at Nintendo.
I've been the guy that does that to people, though, when I worked at a restaurant. I've done that to people. Oh, yeah, and I didn't get fired or anything. Purpose, though? Because they lied. I took a to-go order, and they came in and said that they ordered it like an hour ago, and I was like, I literally just got off the phone with you 15 minutes ago. I took your order. And then she was like, are you calling me a liar? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, I want to see your manager. And I was like, okay, I'll go get him. And then I brought him out, and she started complaining to him, and I was like, she's lying. Like, I just started going off on her. I was like, she's a fucking liar. And he didn't do shit. So it was kind of pretty funny, actually. I don't know.
Well, that is like, that's self-righteous, but in like a good way. Like, you're standing up for yourself, which I appreciate.
Yeah, she was trying to get free food off of us, and I was not having that.
Yeah, how often does that happen in the restaurant industry? It's got to be like a daily occurrence, right?
More frequent than I would. At least I would say once or twice a week, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I don't work all the shifts, but you know, you hear things. People like to complain. You'll be nice as hell to somebody at a table, like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Let me go get the manager. You know, that's our fault. And you go in the kitchen, fuck these motherfucking bitch ass. Like, that's how it goes.
I felt bad because like, Kate and I were at a pub on like last Thursday. And they had a beer that I'd never had before. And I was like, what's this like? And they're like, well, we can bring you a sampler if you want. I was like, sure. And I tried the sampler and was like, I'll have something else. And I was like, really hesitant.
You're throwing the gauntlet down.
Yeah, like, because I had the sampler, I'm like, am I obligated to purchase what you've brought me? Do you think that I'm just trying to get like a free quarter cup of beer here? Yeah. Like, but it was not worth getting the full one. God, it was Bud Light. It was
Bud Light. Why would you sample Bud Light?
Sample. This Budweiser sounds interesting.
This very foreign, very exclusive beer. Oh man,
that's the problem. Is that the people who are nice when they go to restaurants are not going to complain, even if something is mildly wrong. So if you work in the restaurant industry, you're gonna have assholes complaining about stuff that is assholey.
You don't complain they can't fix it, though, so...
Yeah, it's like...
They don't know they did anything wrong.
I don't think I've ever complained at a restaurant. I don't think there's ever been a time when the server came over and said, hey, how are those first couple bites going? Even if it was like literal poison, I would just be like, oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a hair on top of my dish at Red Lobster, and I did tell them about it. Although I needed to be prodded, because it was literally just on top of it. Like, it was barely even touching anything. But it was obvious that it was there, so it was like, come on, guys.
I don't usually complain unless it's really bad. What I'll do is, I used to wait a lot of tables, so I have, like, standards. If somebody doesn't come and greet my table within 5 minutes with a smile and their name, that's a minus. If they don't refill my drinks in a timely fashion, that's a minus. If they don't check back to see how the food is after you've had it after a couple of minutes, that's a minus.
Yeah, man.
And
Table touches.
I still tip, don't get me wrong, but I'll put some really just scathing comments on the check.
Oh, man.
I'll be like, I'll just point out everything they did wrong. I'll be like, enjoy your, and I just put enjoy your tip smiley. Like,
oh, I can't do that. Just hearing that, it triggers me in a way that is very uncomfortable.
But I still tip the same tip. It's not like I lower their tip $1 for every infraction or anything like that.
You're right. I agree with that. But oh man, if someone like held a gun to my parents' heads and were like,
oh no,
like criticize this waitress, I'd be like, no, don't make me do it.
I just want to be polite. How do I get out of this situation?
I mean,
they just try to do their jobs.
I'm polite when people are polite to me. I had a waiter at Chili's once. My friend and I went there, and he didn't do about 4 of those things. But there was a table literally right across from us. It was like a family like table of like 4 people, and he was just smiling and cracking jokes and chuckling it up. And I'm like, I can literally see this guy like night and day. He just thought he wasn't gonna get a tip from us because we looked homely. I was like in pajama pants and stuff. Like, just because I'm comfortable doesn't mean I'm not gonna tip. You know, like.
Damn. If you're gonna put on an act, at least be consistent. Jeez.
It was right. It was literally the table across from us. I'm like, why is this guy being a dick to us?
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I can see him giving good service across the table.
Maybe he suspected you guys had money. So he wanted to offend you so that you would leave a tip to show how wealthy you can actually be. You'd be like, leave him like $150 and be like, who's poor now?
Shit.
He's been at this game
You
a
thought
long time.
a little too far, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's where my head goes in situations like this, because I'm an
No,
idiot.
I understand.
I usually
I
tip
think a
like
lot of our complaints are
25%.
about
Oh,
being
whoa.
paranoid. 25.
Dude, you have now, like, for a while, you were public enemy #1 in chat. People were like, wow, Cobalt's being a dick. But now at 25%, people are going to think you're a saint.
No, I always over-tip because I was in that position before, and I know how bad it sucks because I used to get stiffed all the time at tables.
And I'm always overly polite because I've been in retail and I know that people are dicks a lot of the time. So yeah, I think we're coming from a place of love,
660.
even though it doesn't sound like it. Maybe
Yeah,
we want to make the world a better place, one tip at a time.
that's right. One little snide criticism at a time.
Just do me a favor and stop telling people you tip 25%, because you're driving up the standard for the rest of us in the 50%
Right.
range, and you know, it's causing me to be looked down on. I'm probably the worst tipper in the sense that if you were like, hey, can I get a refill of my water? Oh, go fuck yourself. All right, 15%. But then, like, if you were like, oh, sir, we brought the finest mineral water on the house, it would still be like 20%.
Sometimes
It's
I'll
like,
tip like 100% because I'll only order like a drink and it'll be like $2. But then I feel like I gotta leave like 3 because I just don't, and I just feel cheap.
Oh, I think that's a special circumstance. Yeah, I mean, the general rule of thumb made up by the industry is, you know, if you get a drink, you tip $1 per drink if you're just drinking.
Is that what it is? I'll have to remember that.
What happens if you just order regular water and then they bring out an open bottle of expensive mineral water you didn't ask for, and then you've got to drink it because they brought it out?
Well, what should you do? Ask for
Yeah,
tap
that
water.
actually literally happened to us, and we didn't really make a fuss about it.
Yeah, what I would do is very different than what should be done, probably.
Yeah. We were all we were like going inside of ourselves trying to figure out how to get out of this situation without offending anybody, and then we gave up.
Oh yeah, screw that.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
How was the water, though?
I don't know. You drank it.
I drank it?
Yeah, you were there. It was at
Where-
PAX.
Oh, is that at that weird
The
Greek
underground
restaurant? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that place was strange.
We walked past it again at PAX this year, and we're just like, I remember that place.
It was a
not
little
great.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, not my favorite.
It was a strange
Not the worst
experience.
either. Not my favorite.
Melanie ZZZZZ, thank you for the subscription, by the way. That was the place where when we walked in, there were like those ladies who were like, you're going there? Enjoy it. And we couldn't tell if they were being like
Yeah.
sincere or...
There was an accent involved, I remember, and it was like we couldn't read the accent whether it was sincere or not.
Yeah. It's just like,
I don't know why they would tell a random person like not to enjoy something.
Maybe they had a weird story earlier that day or something like that.
It would have been nice if they had just been like, hey, we're going to talk to you like a human being. That place sucks, don't go there. Instead, they were like, oh, you're going to that place. Have a good time. And you're like, okay, are you just like, are you weird or like, I don't understand.
We'll never know. Sadly.
Oh,
Thank you, Tevo underscore, by the way, for the 20 months in a row. And I saw a Braxiel earlier with the resubscription, and thank you also for the 669 tip. I'll read that out in a sec.
yeah, I've had people tell me recently like, yeah, tipping, we don't do that ever, and only like in Europe, we only tip when like 1 out of every 100 times when something was just super exceptional and da 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 da, and it's just a socially different thing. But here we make, you make like $2 an hour, so you rely on tips. So whether you feel that way or not, it's you don't be a waiter, or if you don't expect to get tips.
What I don't like is when people are like, I'm protesting the system.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be
on an individual basis.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
Order
I
to
think
go!
the waiters and waitresses should be paid more, so I don't tip. And like, well, you could like, write a letter to your governor or, get involved in local protests or something like that.
Or you could order to go and not sit down for the experience, like,
I have a local restaurant that has you take a tip for takeout, and it was real weird. Their payment processing wouldn't let it go through unless you put a tip into the box.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Huh.
Yeah.
I tip 5% for takeout.
That's good because most takeout people don't get tips and they bust their ass to get those orders together. My friend worked that for a long time. It's
I feel like I'm not really paying the server. I treat it as like a built-in restaurant cost.
Yeah, I kind of thought of it that way as well, even though maybe it doesn't actually make sense now that you say it. Huh. I'll have to think about that again next time.
Oh well. Life goes on.
Why don't do negative tips? Like, I didn't like your service, I pay $10 less. I don't think that's how it works,
you
man.
complain, maybe they'll comp you something, and that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. Thank you, Booth, for
I
the
bet
resub.
probably like once a day somebody tries that. Not once a day per
Nice to see you
restaurant,
as
but like
well,
once a
Malcav.
day in the city, someone will write like minus on the tip. I wonder what ends up happening.
Very clever.
Yeah, oh, you got us. Say, excuse me, Visa, I've been charged for this, but I actually wrote 0 as the total.
I want a chargeback of $1.15. They can keep the rest.
I knew servers that would make up their own tips if they didn't get tipped.
That's
That's
pretty
called
unethical.
That's called you're getting fired in about a month when they look at their
Yeah.
their credit card bills.
Right.
I had one guy that chased some customers outside and was like, "What the hell? You guys didn't leave me a tip, and I gave you free soup and all this stuff." And one of our managers was standing outside. He got fired on the spot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Caught him. Oh, people do some shady things to make money at restaurants.
Imagine.
And I gave you free soup.
They'll
Done
like
and done.
they'll like add coupons on after the bill is already over and like pocket the change and stuff like that.
Oh, lovely.
Ridiculous.
I've seen it all. I'm watching Mystery Diners all the time.
What the hell is that, a real show?
Well, no. I mean, it's a show that exists, but
Okay.
is it real? No.
Okay.
The one I saw last night, it was a bar. People were trading drinks for tattoos. It's a concocted reality show. Like it's
Okay.
super fake and scripted. This guy's like, "Yo, in my establishment, if you get ink, you're paying for it. We don't just trade one tattoo for one beer. That's ridiculous." I was like, "He's right. That's ridiculous." A tattoo is like hundreds of dollars.
Well, it depends.
I want a tattoo so bad. I'm still looking for an artist. I'm finally getting caught up.
Get Dracula Fetus to do it.
Dracula Fetus.
He's our thumbnail
Okay.
artist and animator.
Oh,
I don't know if he's a tattoo artist, but surely there's transferable skills there, right?
Poking my skin with needles. Yeah.
He'd probably
I
give
don't
you
know.
a pretty
like
good
a
rate.
lot of training to work on tattoo stuff.
I doubt
It's a whole new science compared to just drawing.
I don't know.
I
Dealing
need to
with
find one in
contours,
Chicago.
skin.
Have I not picked up that other item, or did it just lose its knowledge of it when I walked out? Where are you guys at on your run, by the way?
I am in the
you.
chesticle.
Same here.
Oh, I did the thing where I say I'm in womb 2. Yeah, there it is.
Room 2. Oh, my tummy.
Whoop 2! Ba-da-be-da-ba-da-ba. It's Blur, you know?
I don't like this. Curse of the blind. Get out of here.
So Nick and I had a conversation probably like a few months ago. Nick was trying to prognosticate, hey, is there like a market
Yes,
for
Bloodbeard.
high luxury sex toys? And I took the opinion that that's a little ridiculous. I don't think there is that, but I wouldn't
Like-
necessarily be surprised.
Like a diamond dildo or something? Or-
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually saying like jewel encrusted butt plug specifically, but you know
Oh.
anything
And
in that ilk.
What if you
I
lose
got-
a ruby in your anus or something? Like,
That's
Well,
you know,
this is
that's the
something
price you pay
that's-
for richness.
It's something that they're going to have to deal with because Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle home furnishings line has just unveiled, I don't know what word you use for the launching of a sex toy product, but they have released a $15,000 24
Popped
karat
out.
gold dildo.
that's gotta cause cancer or something. Like,
It's $15,000. There is a proletariat version that's only $6,500. It's not 24 karat gold, which is just ridiculous, but
I don't know about that. Wouldn't like little metal flakes like rub off from the friction in your nether bits?
No.
No, like
I'd
I
be
don't think so.
surprised. But
Have
You
like
gotta
a
have a
gold
really
encrusted
coarse beetle
vagina.
for that. Unless you're saying you got
I have to admit, I'm more surprised that you're concerned about the safety as opposed to the huge amount of affluence required to purchase a $15,000 sex
People
toy.
will buy anything. Have you seen the? People will buy $30,000 watches. Like, I don't
It
know.
honestly seemed like an obvious thing back when I said it, and I'm really not that surprised that it exists, but at the same time, it is really cool that it happened to happen. You know, well, I'm still alive on this earth, so I can talk about it.
I feel like it defeats the purpose because that's something like a private thing that you wouldn't normally like just pull out at a party and be like, "Look at my golden
You don't want to
dildo."
pull it out at a
This-
party. You want to leave it in the whole party.
This came up during our discussion. I said, you know, luxury goods designed to show off that you're wealthy normally require them to be showed off.
Right, and my argument
Yep.
is this is a whole different level of wealth where you don't actually worry about what other people think. You insulate the wealth within yourself.
I
And
mean,
this is,
maybe-
you know, how
that's
much
old
more
money, though.
insulating can you be?
Maybe they're eyes wide shutting over here or something. You know, just wearing
Eyes
masks.
wide shutting?
Yeah. They're just having sex parties with masks and like, oh, who's got the golden dildo? That's in style right now.
Like
you
the
know?
Easter egg, you gotta go.
It's
find
my
who's got the
turn to
golden dildo.
speak. I have the golden dildo.
There you go.
It's my kind of party.
I mean, like, I'm
Yeah,
not
me
saying
too,
you should
actually.
be embarrassed by using a sex toy at all. But can you imagine if, like, you know, your house was robbed, and then you had to be like, okay, well, tell me what you got in the house. Well, you know, they took
Yeah.
took my jewelry, they took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next? And then also they took my $15,000 gold dildo.
I wish
Oh,
it was
God,
something
Tyrone's
even
in
more
here.
gross than just a dildo, though, because that way it would take that comedy to the extreme.
Leave
And I
it
just
to
think butt plugs
Gwyneth
work best for
Paltrow.
that.
Exactly. I was gonna say, leave it to Gwyneth Paltrow to come out with the squarest sex toy of all time. Where's the golden anal beads?
Yeah,
Where's the
exactly.
platinum dildo? Let's get a step up here.
Where's the palladium dildo?
Yeah, the gold
know-
is just so overdone.
I just want a dildo made of a mineral that is not expensive, but rather is almost completely depleted on Earth, so that I can really revel in the plight of the people who mined it, and also us as a species.
Oh
well.
god, an ivory dildo.
That's what I was about to say, like an elephant tusk dildo.
Elephant tusk dildo.
Oh
Alright.
no!
Not good.
A whalebone dildo. Made from the rib of a whale.
Did you see a picture of it at all, or you're just hearing the theory?
I did. It comes in a very nice, like, plush case. That's as much as I saw.
Does it look comfortable?
I honestly
look
don't have the
comfortable?
wherewithal to answer that question.
I just mean, like, does it look like a standard dildo, or is it like a weird shape, or like have any strange stuff going on with it?
It's got a bend in it, but I honestly don't know enough.
Okay, so that's probably for the clit.
No, it's not like it's shaped like a fortune cookie or something like
Oh,
that.
hits the
It's
G
just-
spot. Hits the G
Yeah,
spot.
look, without getting too robust in our analysis, that was my assumption as well, yes.
All right. I just want to make sure if you're buying a 15 grand dildo, you get what you need out of it.
You get the pleasuring.
Right, because what's the point if not the pleasure? Dodo bone dildo. Which is more gross, though, a butt plug or anal beads?
I'm not going to say that either of those are gross.
I mean, just, you know, if you had to say it out loud to someone who is offended by things easily, like, which one of those would get
I
their cockles
feel... Well, with a butt plug, I always wondered, when you pull it out, is there not, like, an anal sigh?
I think the deeper you go, the grosser it gets.
That's what I was thinking. It's like if you had, like, a really... Oh, hello, Kate.